Good morning. I hope the lighting is better today. We have had some really rainy spring days here in Georgia, and most of my light in my office is natural light. I do have two lights, one that's over there and then one that is up here. But the problem is, if I turn the overhead light on, I get horrible orb behind me. So I have to just use my light there and my natural light, which there are windows on either side of where I'm recording. But the problem is there's not been a lot of natural light because it's been cloudy, rainy. We have tornado warnings today. So I've been on the struggle with the lighting. I'm going to bite the bullet and order another ring light. I've ordered 3 and all 3 have broken. They're not cheap and I hate wasting money. And until I kind of find one that I love, I said I wasn't going to order and waste another $30, $40 when they break in a couple of months, because 2 of them have gone bad. The plugs, like where you plug them in, have either broken, bent, something. And one of them, like the actual light circle thing, shattered. For what they cost, I feel like they should last longer than a couple of months, but I digress. I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to do my research and maybe find a better branded one. I've heard really good things about like the Alex Earl phone light. I might order that on TikTok Shop. I've never ordered anything from TikTok Shop. I'm kind of anti that, but I got to do something because the light is at this point driving me crazy too. So yeah, I apologize for the lack of amazing lighting. I am working on it. We had really good lighting for like a few months there at the beginning of the year, where it was sunny and cool, but we're getting into swamp-like season here in Georgia, and we're not going to have a nice light. So we'll order a professional light. End of story. Books. I finished the Boys of Tommen series. That's what we're here to talk about today. I read book number 3, which, if you want to go back, I did the first 2 books in my last review. So Binding 13 and Keeping 13, I already reviewed in my Boys of Tommen video from about a week ago. And then I read book number 3, which is Saving 6. I did not read Redeeming 6. I kind of glanced over it. I know what I've missed. There was a lot of repetition, and I know that there was like a big gap in time between like the first book and then, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the author had a child loss and was not able to write, and then there was a big gap in time before she continued on to the series, like of 3 or 4 or 5 years. And so because of that, I think that's why a lot of it was repetitive, because she was trying to like kind of remind the reader, or maybe even trying to reach out to the readers who hadn't read the first 2 books. And even like if I had read them as they were coming out, I probably would have enjoyed it more, because it would have been a gap in time between release dates. But I read these books back to back to back. Joey and Effe's story, I love it. They're super cute together, but it read very repetitive to Shannon's stuff that she was dealing with. Yes, Joey has a little bit different aspect of it, plus you've got the drug addiction mixed in, and yeah. So I read book number 3, which was Saving 6. I did not feel the need to read Redeeming 6. I just didn't. So I skipped that one. I did kind of look and see what I missed, which I really didn't even need to do, because the next book, which is book 5, which is as far as it's come out, book 5 just came out a few weeks ago, Taming 7 literally caught me up, told me everything that happened in Redeeming 6 and within the first few chapters. So I'm good. Skipped book number 4, and I'm pretty good not going back and reading that one. But I did read Taming 7. Now, Saving 6 was good. I liked getting tidbits of Joey and Effie and everything, but wasn't my favorite by far. I loved Shannon and Johnny's story way more than Joey and Effie's. Even though I do feel like I understand why she wrote them, and we needed them. We needed to humanize Joey a little bit because of his drug addiction problems and some of the things that happens, aka the baby. We needed to know where all this was coming from because, yes, at the end of Redeeming 6, Joey and Effie have a baby AJ. And they're all living at the Kavanaughs. So Mrs. and Mr. Kavanaugh, Johnny's parents, have taken in the entire Lynch clan. That's Joey, Darren, Shannon, the 3 younger siblings, and now Joey's baby. So they are saints. When I tell you Mrs. Kavanaugh is a saint, Mrs. Kavanaugh is a saint. But she always wanted a big family and wanted a lot of children. They had to do IVF for Johnny, and worked really hard to get even Johnny on this realm planet. And so she's thrilled to the masses with all of these kids in her house. So that's cool. She seems to be in her element and does not mind taking on the entire Lynch brood. So we pick up with Taming 7, kind of right around where Keeping 13 ends, with them starting their year 5 and year 6 respectively at Tommen. The girls are in year 5 because they did a skip year for 4. Apparently in England, year 3 is a big year, but year 4 is kind of like a gap year, and then year 5 you jump back into exams and things like that. So some schools do an option to even skip that gap year of year 4, which the girls decide to do. They are now in year 5 at the beginning of Taming 7. And when I say girls, I mean Shannon, Claire, Lizzie. Your big 3 for this series. And then the boys being Gibbs, Hugh, Johnny, they're all in year 6. The rugby players are in year 6. And we jump right into it. Taming 7 is Johnny and Claire's book. And they have been friends their whole lives. There's a lot of trauma to unpack in this book. This whole Boys of Tommen series, do not read without looking into any specific trigger warnings that you have. Trigger warnings like addiction, rape, abuse, any of that, heavily dealt with in these. And yeah, it's just about relationships, whether it be romantic ones or friendship ones, because the core 6 friendship here is falling apart very quickly because of the tension between Gibbs and Lizzie. Lizzie's sister, her older sister, Kiva, committed suicide, and Lizzie's family believes that it is due to Gibbs's stepbrother. He has an older stepbrother. Now, Gibbs's father and baby sister drowned on a boat accident when he was like 6 or 7, something like that. Sorry about that. I have a coffee this morning from McDonald's. Been doing really good. I only get a coffee maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. I do not drink a lot of caffeine anymore. You guys know I've been on that. What is going on? Okay. You guys know I've been on that no caffeine train. I did like a month of absolutely no caffeine. Odin is going to join us for this episode. I did a month of absolutely no caffeine, and then I have slowly been integrating it back in, just a little bit. But where was I? Yes, Gibbs's parents, well, just his dad and his little sister drowned on a boating accident, and his mother remarried very soon after. In fact, he was already like living at the house with her at the time of the drowning. And he had an older son. And that son is named Mark. And the Young family, Lizzie's family, believes, because of a note that Kiva left, that Mark is the reason why Kiva killed herself. And they believe that Mark raped Kiva. And that is what happened. Well, Gibbs knows that that's not what happened. There was some other stuff going on. And he's kind of keeping it to himself, and you really don't know why for most of the book. You do find out why. And it's very traumatic and all of that, but because of that, there's a massive rift between Liz and Gibbs, and they're constantly arguing and fighting, and people are taking sides. It's a very toxic situation in the friend group for this year. And yeah, that is pretty much what this centers around, as well as kind of Claire and Gibbs' relationship as it builds from a lifelong friendship into something romantic and intimate, which neither of them have really had before. And it's a really sweet story. I love Claire and Gibbs together. I think I told you in my other video, Claire and Gibbs are one of my favorite couples for this series, and they just have a really good banter-like dynamic, as well as dealing with some really, really heavy stuff. And so yeah, I loved Taming 7. Saving 6 was just okay for me. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. Gave Taming 7 a solid 4 stars. They didn't quite hit the 5-star mark, but they were both really, really good. And yeah, I'm excited for the next book in the series. Hoping we get a Lizzie series book. I don't know how much redemption can be had for Liz, for me. The way she has reacted in certain situations really has turned me off her as a character. I know there are a lot of people that are like holding out for a Liz redemption arc, and I'm hoping for it as well. I just don't know she will ever be one of my favorite characters in this series. There are some things that have been said that I don't think can be unsaid or undone. Maybe other people are more forgiving than me, but I'm a Gibbs stan, Gibbs protector, like, to the day I die. And yeah, I just think that Lizzie has completely handled this situation probably as poorly as a person could. And yeah, so we'll see if she can be redeemed in my eyes or not. I'm not holding a lot of hope. But that is my review of Boys of Tommen that is out so far. I am currently reading The Fall of Ruin and Wrath. I'm like that far into it. I'll have it done today or tomorrow. And it is super good so far. I'm really, really enjoying it. Love a Jennifer L. Armentrout for the most part, especially a book one, Jennifer L. Armentrout. Love her like first and second books in her series always. I tend to get off of her by like book 4 or 5 where it becomes repetitive or things like that. But I love her book ones. Her book ones are always fantastic. So really liking this so far. And I will have a full review for you guys to let you know what I think of it. But yeah, I might be doing a everything that I read on Mother's Day video for Monday. I don't know. I am either staying home and reading in, bed and on my little reading chair all day, or I'm doing the opposite and I'm going to see my mom. And if that's the case, I'll be driving most of the day and I will not be reading a lot. And so you won't get a what I read for Mother's Day video. It is the Friday before Mother's Day and I still haven't made up my mind on what I am doing yet. I really want to see my mom, but for those of you who know me personally, know that I have been working and just running a lot. These last few weeks, been working 6-day weeks. Just because I've got a lot of stuff coming up. The summer is an incredibly busy time for me. I'm taking 2 vacations plus my daughter's 15th birthday. So yeah, it's a whole heckin' lot, and I've been working a lot because of that, all that stuff upcoming. So I might just do Mother's Day in bed with a book. I just haven't decided yet. I will let you guys know what I end up doing though. All right, I will see you guys on Monday with some sort of video. I love you so much. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.